We are live. Yes, we are live. Hey,
Across the nation.
across the nation, across the seas, and the earth, and the world. We're international. Yes, we are.
Yes, darling.
Whew, Jesus, Joseph. I'm hungry. I'm
Poor
hungry.
baby.
I'm hungry.
I'll
I'm
probably
starving.
I'll probably get me something while you
I am. I'm so,
having your surgery.
it's so funny how, things that you really don't pay attention to or things you take for granted become so important to you when you can't have it. I am starving now. Good morning, everybody. Y'all come on in here. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm starving and I can't eat near nothing.
Man, that
Near nothing. Can't have netta or netta or nutta. Can't have netta, nutta, nothing.
nothing.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's like, why, Lord? Why? Why can't I have me some pancakes? Why can't I have me 2 eggs sunny side up with cheese, with some grits and some bacon and all that good stuff on the side? Why can't I have that?
Why can't we just go to that cute little diner across the street
Right.
and wait till it's time?
I know. I mean, anyway, Joseph, see you in the chat.
We early, yo.
I know we early, y'all, but it's early in the morning. We're early.
Because I had a doctor's appointment, but there was actually nowhere to park.
I don't even know why you ain't even just go to the doctor's appointment. I could have stayed outside.
Because Tremaine, what's that going to do? Double park?
What time was your appointment? 9 o'clock?
It was 9 o'clock. I was late anyway. Oh,
But
anyway. It says 9:30.
Well, I'm feeling, I don't know why, I don't know what it is about today. Because I'm not nervous. I'm not afraid or anything, Joseph. I'm perfectly calm.
You shouldn't be.
But I'm feeling so fatigued.
Because you didn't sleep. You didn't have enough sleep last night.
I didn't sleep last night. Well, I went to sleep late last night. I was watching TV until about, probably to about 2 a.m.
Because when you woke me up, I ain't even going to lie. I was like, when did I fall asleep? I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't remember falling asleep.
You fall asleep just like that.
I don't, but normally I know, like.
And it's so funny because you'll lay your head back like this, and next thing I know, your mouth be wide open. You be
no. I was mad because I wanted to go to sleep because I knew I had to get up early.
You be dead sleep.
I literally hate not having enough sleep. I hate not having enough sleep because it annoys me to no end.
Pop, roll this window up, right? Roll the window up. With my jacket in. Okay. Because I'm trying to.
I was trying to get you.
It
don't look bad.
No, it's the sunlight. It's shining in my face.
You ready?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Child Joseph, you fall asleep in the drop of a hat.
No, but normally I know when I fall asleep. Like I know I'll be like, oh, I fell asleep during Law and Order SVU. SVU or whatever. Last night I fell asleep and I'm like, well, when the hell did I fall asleep? Like I didn't know when I fell asleep at all.
Joseph, you fall asleep. Joseph, I swear to God, I can turn around like this and turn back around.
No, but I remember. Out. No, I know, but I'm saying I remember falling asleep last night. I don't even know when I fell asleep. It just happened. We gotta get gas.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what? I wasn't up that much longer. I wasn't up a long time after you fell asleep. Because remember, we were up and we were watching. We were talking and stuff like that. Joseph, could you please roll this window down back here? Because I'm about to burn up. This child is hot in this car. Child, we got to turn the air on or something.
I just did.
But yeah, I didn't. I stayed up late, but it wasn't that late. Not as late as I usually do, because you know me. I can be an insomniac. when it comes to sleeping. I'll sleep. I'll be up all night and wake up in the morning feeling like, child, I could run a 10-mile marathon. But anyway, guys, hey, what's going on, Monte? Thank you for those of you that are not here yet. Thank you for watching the live stream that we're doing now. And as you come in, please
shout out to the new subscribers.
Shout out to all the new subscribers. As you come in, make sure you hit the like button. Monte, y'all know better. Y'all hit the like button when y'all come in. And if you're not a subscriber, by all means, subscribe to our channel because we have so many interesting things to share with you guys. Today marks day one of my new journey, right?
Well, the beginning.
My new beginning. A couple of weeks ago, guys, I told you guys that, the doctors, of course, I've known for a year now, 2 years now, that I got diagnosed with kidney disease.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, my kidney disease has progressed to the point where now I am going to have to be administered dialysis.
At some point.
At some point, not yet, but at some point, I'm going to have to be administered dialysis. So to prepare for that, I am having surgery today on my arm. It is a procedure called the fistula, right? Fistula?
Mm-hmm.
It's called a fistula. What they do is they take a main artery, right?
An artery and a vein.
They take an artery and a vein, and they kind of like either sew them together or tie them together. And that is the way in which your dialysis is administered. That's how they pull your blood out of you and clean it out and then put it back in. So that's what I'm having done today. I'm actually having the fistula procedure done there. They're going to do it on my right arm. They usually don't do it on the dominant arm, right? So they're doing it on my right arm. This is the arm they're going to do, and they're going to do it right, probably right about here, right?
Well, that's where they're going to cut you.
Yeah,
but it'll probably be somewhere.
Yeah, it'll probably be somewhere up here, but they're going to make the incision right here. Am I looking forward to it? No. But I know it's something I have to do. I know it's something that I have to do. This is, something I have to do in order to live, to survive, health-wise. If I don't do dialysis, if I don't have this procedure done, somewhere down the line, I'm going to have to, have it done. And I'm going to have to be administered dialysis. But the fact of the matter is there's no choice to be made here in terms of dialysis or not. Either I'm going to have to do dialysis or I'm going to die, period, point blank.
And
so
it's thinking back to when I was in your position, I should have gotten my arm done when they wanted me to. But I just insistent, no, I'm not doing dialysis. No, I'm not going on dialysis. God is going to heal me. I didn't say this to them, but in my mind, I'm like, God is going to heal me. He's going to fix it. He's going to make it right. And I was in the same boat as you. In April of 2016, I was in the same boat. It was, we just want to, I was already in the hospital because like Tremel, I couldn't breathe. Well, I could breathe, but I had fluid. I had like 25 pounds of fluid on my body. My feet were swollen, humongous. I didn't even realize unlike you, I didn't get to the point where I couldn't breathe. I just my heart was filled with fluid, my lungs were filled with fluid, and I knew something was wrong because my feet were huge and my calves and my feet were huge. And that's when I went to the hospital and they started draining me like they did you with the drains. And I lost like over 25 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I knew I had 25 pounds of fluid on me.
That's a lot.
And they wanted to do, they wanted to do my arm for just in case. And I was like, no. And then in August, I got like you in August where I couldn't breathe at all. I mean, I just couldn't breathe. But my dumb ass went to work. And I'm like, trying to grasp air like that because I literally could not breathe. And my doctor called me, and I picked up, and she was like, "Can you breathe?" And I said, "No, how do you know I can't breathe?" She said, "Because your blood test came back. Get to an emergency room immediately. Which one are you going to? So I could call them and tell them you're coming." So,
oh wow, was that deep?
It was that bad. And so luckily my sister was off from work that day. So I called her and said, "Can you?" I said, "I don't mean to bother you. I know it's your day off, but I have to go to the hospital. They just called me. It's really bad. I can't breathe." And she was like, "Well, I'm coming to get you from work." I said, "No, I'll take an Uber home. Just get ready so that by the time I get home." So I got me a little bag or whatever because I knew they was keeping me. I knew that was going to happen. And she took me, and that's when they told me I had end-stage renal failure. I said, whenever you hear end stage, that says you're dying. So I said, my sister, and it was crazy because they didn't come in and tell me until my sister was leaving because she was like she had to take my niece to school, I believe, or my brother-in-law had to go to work, so she had to pick up my niece so that she would whatever it was. But she was like, "I'm gonna come back." I said, "Okay, can you bring me a sandwich from Quick Check because I'm hungry?" So she said, "Well, can you have that?" So she asked the nurse, "Can he have a ham and cheese sandwich from Quick Check?" And the nurse said, "Yeah, he can have that. That's fine." So she was like, "All right, I'll bring that to you when I come back." I said, "Okay." Soon as she left, the doctors came rushing in, and they was like, "Oh, you have end-stage renal failure." I said, you know, I heard that word, that magical word, end-stage, and I said, "So when a person has end-stage cancer, that means they're gonna die. So are you telling me I'm gonna die?" And it was like, "Well, to be totally honest with you, yes." I said, "Okay, when are you putting?" Because I knew the procedure. They had explained it to me back in April. I said, "So when are you putting that port in my chest and doing my arm?" So they was like, "Oh, so you're gonna do dialysis?" Hell yeah, I'm doing dialysis. You bitch just said I was gonna die. Bitch, I don't have a death wish. I might have played with God to take my life because I'm miserable, but I didn't mean that. I was just saying it because it was the thing to say at the time, and it's how I felt at that moment. But when you hit with real, you're gonna die, your whole plan changes immediately. Like, no, Lord, I didn't mean I really wanted to die, Jesus. I didn't mean I wanted to die, Jesus. I just meant that
Go ahead, keep going.
Hey, Reese Cup, I didn't mean I wanted to die. I just meant that I wanted to just be It was either that day or the day after they put the port in my chest. And whenever they put the port in your chest, right after they put the port in your chest, just to make sure that it's working, they give you like 3 hours of dialysis. Baby, when I tell you that was the best thing they could have ever did, that was the first time in like,
what, did you feel better? Or
oh my God, a year that I was able to sleep through the night. Because they didn't really believe like how much I was peeing. I was peeing like a racehorse. Like if I went to sleep at 8 o'clock, if I woke up at 9 o'clock, I knew that every hour on the hour I was gonna wake up and piss like I never pissed the first time. Or it was every 2 hours. It would just be determined by the first when I went to sleep, the first time that I woke up. And when they gave me the 3 hours of dialysis, it felt so good to just sleep through the night. Like I slept through the night because I woke up because after they put the port in my chest, I woke up and I was in dialysis and I was like, "Ooh, can I have something to drink, please?" Because I don't know, whenever I come out of anesthesia, I'm dry. And I was like, "Can I have something to drink?" And she said, "Okay, give me a second, I'll get you some apple juice." And she gave me some apple juice. I said, "I need more than this, girl." Because that little baby cup they bring in. She said, "Well, let's wait till your dialysis finish." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, can I get water?" So she brought me a little bit of water. And it was, see, Tramiel ain't to the point where I was. I was to the point of feeling I had all these toxins and shit in my body. So, because the pills, like...
Oh, I've been there before.
No, but like all the pills you taking, I was taking. Mm-hmm. But because the fluid retention was building up, it was... Because like I was holding fluid like severely. You wasn't holding that much fluid like me. Mm-hmm. I was holding some fluid severely. So even when they started giving me dialysis in the hospital, they was pulling even more fluid. They pulled even more than 25 pounds of fluid off me. Mm. So I literally, when I got out of the hospital, had to go to the store and buy new clothes because all my clothes was too big. Mm-hmm. And I had just lost a bunch of weight because they had told me I was diabetic, and I had lost 90-something pounds. But even with losing the 90-something pounds, I was still retaining water because my kidneys wasn't working properly. So it was just like a big thing. So I really think you're doing the right thing right now and doing your arm before it has to be done. Mm-hmm. Because I wish back then I would have done it, because then I wouldn't have had to have that port in my chest, because I went from April to August without having to have dialysis. And by the time I would have had to have it, they could have just gave it to me in my arm. Mm-hmm. But because I didn't let them do my arm, I had to have that port in my chest. That port in my chest was horrible. I couldn't take a shower. For 3 months, I had to take a shower with a handheld thing. You can't get it wet because it's aligned directly to your heart. So, anything that's wet can grow mold. Right. So you don't want the mold to grow inside. Right. And, Right. They have to clean it at dialysis when you go. So they'll hook you up because they're in a hurry. And they'll be like, I'll come back. And it itched like, oh, God, it itched. They would clean it, and I'd be like, oh, rub harder. And they'd be like, it itch. I said, yes, rub harder, because you can't scratch it. But them cleaning it, just rubbing it with like the gauze, or like they had other little like spongy stick. I'd be like, oh, yes, rub it harder. And I'll show you the mark in my chest where it was when we came home, because the mark is still there. It's better this way. I mean, God forbid, if you have to go on before the 3 months and your arm is healed, still they'll put the port in your chest, but you won't have to have it. And then I look at it this way, perhaps maybe I will go over to PD. Right, and then you'll have both. I'll have both, I'm just feeling I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I'm just feeling very fatigued, Because you probably want to go to sleep. No, I want to get it done and get it over with. Oh, yeah, we here early. We're super early. But I want to get it done and get it over. Why are we just sitting here? Because, are they going to do it before? We paid for parking already, right? No. Well, I'm going to have to pay it and go out. Yeah. But, I'm not afraid or anything. I'm just ready to get it done and get it over with. I am. I'm ready to just get it done and get it over with. Like, I want this part of it to be over with. And the only reason why I really want it to be over because I'm hungry. I'm starving, Joseph. I'm ready to eat. They called me yesterday and they told me, they gave, when you have instructions and stuff, whenever you having like a surgery or something, they always call you and give you instructions on what you should do before the surgery. And they called me yesterday and they told me that I couldn't eat anything after midnight, right? Nothing to eat, nothing to drink after midnight. They told me I can only take my blood pressure medications today with a sip of water. A sip of water, so that's all I had this morning, y'all. All I had this morning was a sip of water. That's it. I ain't had nothing else. I ain't had nothing to eat. And a sip of water. And I'm feeling very grumpy right now. And I am feeling very fatigued. Like, Joe, we gotta get out of this car, child. I have to go for a walk or something. We will. We'll keep going inside. But I'm feeling very fatigued about this whole thing. I just want this part of it to be over with. As far as this new journey for me, coming to the realization that I may have to do dialysis. Coming to the realization that I'm okay. Like, psychologically, I'm okay. Like, it's like, okay. It's just like when they told me
when I went to the doctor, he told me I had to take insulin. You know,
right,
and I had to stick myself, 4 times a day. It's just like that, And in the beginning, I was a little nervous and scared and stuff. But eventually you get over that. You really do. You get over that. The most important thing for me, is to show other people, and I'm not only being strong for myself. I'm being strong for the person out there that is in the doctor's office right now and they're being told that they have to have dialysis. I want to be strong for that person. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, and
I want to be sure. I want to be an example. I want people to look one day at this video and say, okay, well, if he, you know, is weathering through or enduring, going through dialysis, then I can do it. And it's not. People think that dialysis is such a death sentence. They do. They think that dialysis is such a death sentence. So many people that I've said, I've told them that I have to have dialysis, and they're like, oh, like poor you. And I'm like, I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me in the sense where they're like, oh, poor Trammell, he's gonna die, and I don't want nobody to feel like that.
Right, and people find out that I'm on dialysis, and they look at me and go, "You're on dialysis? You don't even look like you're on dialysis." Right. And I've been on dialysis for 6 years.
What does dialysis look like?
Well, from what I was told, I know somebody who was my complexion, and he ended up turning your complexion.
Yeah, I heard that before.
So, like, the white doctors they didn't know what I meant, because I asked them, I said, when they told me that I was going to be on dialysis, I said, what, am I going to turn black? Yeah. And they all looked like crazy. They looked at me like I was crazy because they were all white. And I was like, well, I was told that black people that are light skinned, they get darker when they're on diet. I did get a little darker. My legs especially. Like, my calves are darker, but the rest of me is slightly darker. Like, if you knew me before, I just look like I got a tan that just ain't going away. But I had a friend that was my complexion, and literally he looked like a totally different person because he turned Trammell's complexion. For me, that was scary.
Now I hear that now, child. Let me tell you something. If I get any darker, honey, I'm gonna be soot. If I get any darker, no jokes. If I get any darker, if you cut me, I ain't gonna bleed.
No, I never heard dark skinned people. I never heard them say they got darker. It was always the light skinned people that I knew on dialysis that said they got darker. Like Lance didn't get darker. You and Lance are the same complexion. Lance stayed his complexion. So when I said it to him, he didn't even know what I was talking about. He was like, "What are you talking about, child?" And I said, "Well, they told me I was going to get darker." But he did say he got a little darker, but not to the point of where it was.
Well, I've seen people get darker. People that, like my uncles. My uncle, he was on dialysis. He got darker, but in the sense of like his knuckles and like around his eyes were darker, and some places on his body were a little darker. But he didn't like turn like a shade. Child, if I get any darker, honey, I'm gonna be soot.
And Lady Prophetess, you're right. You need to exercise, and dialysis is not a death sentence. And I never went into it thinking that it was a death sentence. And I think one of the things that keep me is, one thing about me is I don't want to feel like I'm sick. I don't approach things in my life, like when things happen to me, like I'm sick. Not to say that I ignore it and I don't pay attention to that there's something wrong with me, but I don't approach it like I'm sick. I just don't approach it like I'm sick. Like, when they told me I was on dialysis, and then they gave me this whole rules of what I could and couldn't eat, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm not listening to that. The only thing that I would listen to was the cheese thing, because I knew that I had a love affair with cheese. And like, I would buy a block of cheese, cut it in half, and cut the half into little squares, and get me a bottle of Moscato. And Friday nights, that was my thing. If I wasn't going out, I would just sit home, eat my cheese, and drink my Moscato. One thing I knew I couldn't do no more was drink a bottle of Moscato, because that's fluid intake. And the second thing I knew I couldn't do no more was eat the cheese. Cheese was the hardest thing for me because that is like my love.
Well,
but
cheese
now,
ain't gonna be hard to me. I like cheese, but I don't like it like that. I don't have a love.
No,
of
but
cheese
like
that.
when I say I have a love of cheese, like macaroni and cheese, pizza, any kind of lasagna, any baked ziti, anything that have cheese, I'm a fan of it. So I had to wean myself. Like now, I couldn't even tell you the last time I had macaroni and cheese, or the last time I had a slice of pizza, or I couldn't tell you because now I just use it as a, I know if my family gets together, there's going to be mac and cheese, so that's a given. I don't just make it during the week like I normally would do it before. And I had to cut that down because my phosphates was getting way too high, like dangerous levels high. So I was like, okay, the only way to fix this is to cut out the cheese altogether. So yeah, if I have a sandwich, I'll have some cheese on it, and that's it. I'm not going overboard. Like if I make a sandwich, child, the cheese is like probably that thick on my sandwich. I don't do that. It'll be like when you made the sandwiches when we went to Think Sunday. What did I tell you? That ain't enough cheese because Tramel put one piece of cheese or two pieces of cheese. And in my mind, that ain't enough cheese. But then when I ate the sandwich, it was enough cheese. So
you don't need all that.
I didn't really listen to. I didn't change my diet.
You had to learn the hard way.
No. What I'm saying is the cheese thing. I knew I had to change. Right. Because I had that itching and I knew it was coming from the cheese. So that itching was never going to happen.
I know I'm squirming all over the place. Excuse me, Joseph. I know I'm squirming all over the place, but I'm just so anxious. My anxiety is so high right now because I just want to have this done, this procedure done, and go home. I would not go home, go eat. I'm hungry. I was hungry. I was negra. I was hungry.
Oh, no, y'all, don't worry. Me and Tramel have had conversations about dialysis. He asked me, but he's seen me. He's seen me for the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph is my hero.
What I've done, but he hasn't. He's seen me on hemodialysis. Yeah. Because when we first met, I was on hemo. Yeah. And then he's seen me switch over to PD. He's seen the difference.
Get nervous.
He's seen the difference in how I act and how it does me. Jesus. And the only reason why I went back to hemo was because of Tramel, because he saw how good I started looking. I didn't pay attention. I didn't think I was looking bad, to tell you the truth. But even the lady the nurse in the PD section of dialysis even said to me, Joseph, you look really good. You look really. Even my doctor, my nephrologist was like, Joseph, you look really good.
Joseph, look at his skin right away.
When Tramel said it to me, and I started looking at myself, I said, I do look better. Maybe this PD thing ain't for me because I had already done it like 3 years. I said, maybe I need to go back to hemo. And I was like, okay, well, that's what I'll do. And that's what I did. It's an inconvenience. It does. It gets starting to get to me now, going there
every day,
3 days a week, for 4 hours. And then they extended my time to 4 hours and 15 minutes.
But let me ask you this before you go on. You said it's a headache going 3 days a week, right? Mm-hmm. Versus doing your home dialysis. Mm-hmm. In the grand scheme of things, when you really look at it, Joseph, you ain't got to
get the
supplies.
All I got to do is
hook yourself up to the machine, and you ain't got to do all that.
All I got to do is go there and go like
this. Steps.
Y'all see my arm is still taped up from yesterday. All you see, I just go there and go like this. And all I have to do is wait for them to stick.
When you do home dialysis, it's a lot of steps.
When I do home dialysis, I have to do everything that they're doing there.
Yeah.
Hook up the machine, run the line.
Right.
Make sure the machine is working properly.
It's just a lot.
Clean my catheter area, clean the machine, and then hook myself up.
Yeah, it's a lot of steps.
Now, all I got to do is go in there, get on the scale, tell them how much I weigh, let them, put in the machine how much they're going to take, how much fluid they're going to take off me. Sit there, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to play on my phone for a little bit, get sleepy, and fall asleep. I don't even tell them to turn my TV on, because I'm like, child, I ain't watching this TV. Oh, yeah, and bring your headset. Well, they'll give you headsets.
Yeah, but
so if you want to watch TV or whatever.
I am Joseph. But yeah, guys, I am just really ready to get this done and get it over with, and move on. You know, that's just the type of person I am, especially when it comes to my health. That's just the type of person I am. I'm just like, okay, let's just get it over with, child. Whatever it is, just let's do it. Whatever.
Right, and I done told Tramel the ins and outs. I told him what he
and Joseph
needs
is
to
my
do.
hero. Joseph is my hero when it comes to this, and he's really my muse when it comes to this because, of course, yes, we've been married for 4 years, and I've seen him endure not just home dialysis but hemodialysis for the past 4 years. So I know, you know, I see how he is. I see the type of person he is. The one thing that I give Joseph so much credit for is he don't never complain. I don't never hear him complain. When he comes home from dialysis, he don't never complain. He don't never complain about it. And that's what makes me okay. Feel okay. I'm feeling fine about it.
Thank you, Lady Prophetess.
Oh, and side note, y'all, did y'all know Armand Wiggins is talking about quitting YouTube? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Armand Wiggins is talking about quitting YouTube because he's moving on to a new journey, just like me. Shout out to Armand Wiggins. I hope that he does not quit YouTube. I really do, because he's like Armand Wiggins is my muse. He's also he's like one of my YouTube heroes. He's somebody that I aspire to be like him. Funky Dineva, people like that.
And Sticks Girl. Hopefully, I am about to get a kidney. Somebody I know wants to give me one.
Yeah.
And it just really depends on
the person.
And
right.
Because now that I have AFib, well, they done put me under to do my hernia surgery. So a lot of they just have to test both of us. The tests that they run on me are not going to be as extensive as the test they run on the person that wants to give it to me. We just have to go for the 4-hour training.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I guess the balls will be set into motion for that to happen. And I'm kind of prolonging that process. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm scared. Maybe because I'm scared for them. Maybe because I'm scared for myself. It would be amazing to have a kidney and not have to go to dialysis anymore and things of that nature. But I don't know.
Well, what? The moment that one of my family members found out that I was going to have to do dialysis, they offered me a kidney. And unfortunately, because of the person's age,
Lady Prophetess, don't yell at us.
With the smoking?
Yeah,
we ain't supposed to be smoking. We'll talk about that another day. Please. And
she said you need to calm down.
I know I need to calm down. Right? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. In my head, I am screaming like a blood-curdling scream. And it's not out of fear. It's just
because you want to get
it done. I just want to get it done and get it over with. But guys, let me tell you something. I credit my husband so much because he doesn't complain. He's really my hero when it comes to this dialysis, because unbeknownst to him, I'm depending on him a lot when it comes to this, because he knows the ropes. And so I hope you don't get frustrated with me and stuff like that.
My thing
because
is, I'm
going to be leaning on you a lot.
I educated you as much as I possibly
Hold
can.
Hold on. Spell check. What's the head educated?
I educated you.
You said head educated.
Hey, Sheila. I educated you as much as I can on the process.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next process you have to educate yourself on is, like I said, I can't make you go in there. I've seen so many people just go in there, pull their arm out, go to sleep. If you ask them to hook up their dialysis machine, they couldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you. Like, it's to the point where they wake me up and they say, Mr. McRae, we're giving you your medicine. Mr. McRae, we're putting in your heparin. Because they know that I want to know these things. I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know when you put an Epogen in. I want to know when you giving me my heparin. I want to know if you're giving me my heparin, because I know that my blood clots quick. So it's something that has to be done. So these are things that I can't make you do. These are things you have to want to do. When you sit in that chair, I feel that it's imperative that you know what they're doing. With the place I go to now, though, they don't really. You can watch them hook up another machine, but by the time you get there, your machine is already hooked up. The place I first went to, they would sometimes hook up the machine while I was sitting there waiting because I would get there a little too early. This place won't call you in until you're ready to sit down and be hooked up. So with that process, you're really going to have to just pay attention to them hooking up another machine as opposed to your own, but you can still take a part in what's going on.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Tell me what you do. I mean, they type a lot of stuff. I don't care what they typing in there. I don't ask them what you typing in. You can ask them what's your blood levels, what was your last when they take your blood and they give you see, I showed you the little report card out here. You can ask them that. Like yesterday they did the blood for that. So I'm sure I'll get another report card, which I think it's gonna be okay. It ain't gonna be good like it was the last time. But it's up to you to know what's going on. I can't do that part for you. That's the part you have to do for yourself.
Well, I mean, I understand all that. I'm just like,
as far as questions and what's this, what's that, and I'm sure at the time we're gonna try to go together. We probably won't be sitting next to each other, but they need to put your ass on my machine, honey, because they drape the lines across me because the way they have the machine set up is for somebody who have it in their right arm, not somebody who have it in their left arm. So they actually have to do my left arm and then drape. Like I see the blood going all coming in and going out all across my chest because the lines are across me as opposed to the machine being on this side and doing this. But it ain't no big deal.
Listen, if it's anything like an iron infusion, I'm good. Because they gave me about 10,000
iron infusion. What I'm trying to make you understand. What I don't want you to freak out at is the needle.
Well, Joseph, I understand that.
At first, the needle is going to look normal because there's a 3-step process. So the first process is they use a smaller needle just because they don't want to blow out your arm, and they want to make sure that your arm can handle it. So they'll do that for like that week, and then the next week you come in, the needle is going to be a little bit bigger because now they know that your arm can handle it, but they don't want to be able to just pull. They don't want to still blow out your arm. We need to use the next needle. The third week is when they use the real needles, and them bitches come, and you be looking like, what in the hell, bitch? No wonder why I got to sit here for 5 minutes.
But my arm isn't as big as yours, so.
No, the needle is the same for everybody.
Oh, okay.
Period. The needle is the same because the bigger needle can pull more blood out and clean it better than. It's just they use that process because they don't want to blow your arm out.
Right.
Because those veins ain't used to being used, so they got to get them used to being used that way.
Yeah.
So, the part that the dialysizer is the part that I'm fighting with them now, because the dialysizer is too small because I'm so big. So they refuse to change it unless I do 4.5 hours of dialysis, and I'm not doing that because again, I learned what was going on with me. I already know that the dialysizer they're using is too small. For you, it'll be perfect because you're a smaller person than me. But for me, it's not. It's not cleaning me as much as it should because it's too small, and it can't filter my blood the way that it needs to filter my blood. So when they you need 4.5, I'm not doing 4.5 hours. I already agreed to do 4:15. That's not working. I told you that it wasn't going to work because you need to change this dialysis. Well, it won't let us order it unless you're doing 4.5 hours. Well, there's a bypass mechanism in every computer. If you think you're going to tell me that I have to do you want me to do 4.5 hours because you're hoping that cleans me. That's not going to clean me. I've already been through this road back in 2016, 17. I've already been down that road. So I'm not going back down that road when I know what the problem is. So that's the fight we have right now. But it is what it is. Yesterday, she only kept me on for 4 hours. So I was like, okay, did you take off for 15 minutes? Bitch, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you because I want to come off in 4 hours.
Right.
And she took me off in 4 hours. And I need to ask her. She just came over and was like, okay, Mr. McRae, you're done. I'm like, really? You told me I was going to be done at 2:45. You taking me off at 2:30. Works for me. That's why when you got there, I was already done. I had already been done. I just prolonged holding my arm.
Yeah.
Because I knew I told you to come get me at 3 o'clock, and I was done at like 2:40.
Yeah.
So
you were done early.
I actually was done at 2:30. I just prolonged holding my arm because she was like, "You think you're done?" I said, "I'll give it up another 5 minutes," and then let her undo my machine and hook up another machine and stuff like that. So.
Well, let's get off the dialysis tangent right now and talk about some other things that's going on, not only in these YouTube streets, but yeah, what's going on in these YouTube streets and amongst these celebrities. Joseph, Monique has gone too far. Like, you know, let me just say this about Monique. I love Monique. Well, I'm gonna say this. I love her comedy. I love her comedy. Oh my God, I'm the biggest fan of the Parkers. I can tell you every episode of the Parkers. I've been to see her live, you know, do her comedy live and stuff like that. I think she's one of the greatest performers, one of the greatest actresses, you know, ever. But personally, Monique, you're a tyrant. You're mean. I mean, I get like I was watching TGIF last night, and I get what she's saying. I get what Monique is saying about her being treated unfairly and so on and so forth. But let me just say this. Coming from the music industry, and y'all know I worked in the music industry for over 25 years, okay? The music industry, I don't care what sector of the music industry you can be. I'm talking not even the music industry, the entertainment industry. I don't care what sector of the entertainment industry you're in or come from. There's shady goings on. You're going to run across promoters that are going to tell you things. They're going to tell you things that you want to hear. You're going to have promoters that are going to you know, tell you you're the headliner, and they're gonna tell the other person, oh yeah, you're the best. When in reality, the only thing they're interested in is how many people are coming to the show, because they're in the business of making money, people. So if it is more cost effective, well, not cost effective. If it is more lucrative for Monique to be the headliner, then Monique is going to be the headliner. If it's more lucrative for D.L. Hughley to be the headliner, then D.L. Hughley is going to be the headliner.
Just real quick, shout out to everybody on YouTube. Hey, James Seta.
And shout out to everybody on Facebook, too. We always forget about our Facebook.
No, that's what I meant, Facebook. No, I didn't mean YouTube. I meant Facebook.
Well, I got the hiccups.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm nervous, y'all. I got the hiccups now. But Monique has taken this too far. Now she's gone from attacking D.L. Hughley about a contract to personally attacking him, and she doesn't see what's wrong with all of this. Number one. Now Monique will sit here all day and she will tell you. And you know, one thing I don't like about Monique, the one thing I don't like about Monique is sometimes she doesn't come across as authentic. Because she's always using my babies, my people. I love us. I love us. I love Black people. And her authenticity it just doesn't come across as being authentic and an authentic person. She's taken this attack of D.L. Hughley from a contract to attacking him personally. And, you know, in her doing all of this, I'm trying to understand what is her motive and what type of gratification is she getting from all this.
I think for somebody who's trying to stage a comeback, this is all wrong.
Yeah.
If you was already in the public eye the way you wanted to be, then by all means, say what you need to say, do what you need to do, whatever. But for somebody trying to stage a comeback, I think this is all wrong, because now it makes you look like you're a problem for real.
Yeah.
I think it should have stayed to the performance. If anything, you trying to destroy this man's credibility, his personality, his authenticity.
Well, she ain't doing that.
No, she is. That's why she posted the video of his daughter and of him saying what happened to his daughter, because she's trying to destroy his, what's the word I'm looking for?
His character.
His character.
She don't, but she didn't. What she should have done is
what she should have done was just left it alone.
Done, first of all, my thing is this. Okay, I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt.
No.
But my thing is this: if you're gonna go after somebody, you're gonna attack me, right? If you're gonna come after me, make sure that you know what you're talking about. Number one, have your story right. Know what you're talking about. Have your receipts. And know what you're talking about when you're talking about me.
But I don't even think it's that much.
And when you're talking about my family, see, this is what D.L. Hughley is upset about. First of all, for those of you that don't know, D.L. Hughley did a podcast some time ago talking about how he did not protect his daughter from some type of sexual misconduct from some kid, from some guy.
That was her age.
Now, first of all, the kid was her age, number one. Number two is D.L. Hughley's daughter didn't tell him about this whole thing with this guy until she was much older. And when she told him, what he meant by he should have protected his daughter was, when she told him, he said, well, that's what teenagers do. And he brushed it off, not realizing and understanding that it meant more to his daughter than just for him to brush it off. You know, that wasn't him being a bad father. You know what I'm saying? And that is the narrative that Monique is trying to portray. She's trying to put out there this narrative that D.L. Hughley
that it was a grown man
is this bad father that allowed this man to molest his daughter. That's not it, guys. And that's why, guys, I'm telling you, this is the problem with YouTube. This is the problem with social media and just about everything across the board with us as people. We have to learn how to hear, and we have to learn how to listen instead of hearing what we want to hear or just hanging on to one thing that we hear. We have to learn how to listen.
No, I think she listened, but she just changed the narrative. No,
Monique, if she had listened, if she had did her homework, she would not have attacked him about his daughter like that. I would hate to think that she would do that.
No, because
it would be stupid.
It wasn't about the daughter. See, when she says it's not about the daughter, I get it, because it's not about the daughter.
It's about him.
It's about attacking his character,
right?
And saying that he let a grown man molest his daughter, and the friendship between him and the man was more important than his daughter.
Right.
That's the narrative she's spinning.
Right.
But that's not what he said.
Right.
The boy was the same age. If a 14-year-old molests your daughter, and she's 14 or even 13,
I don't even
say
it wasn't even molested.
What I'm saying, whatever he did, and you say, well, that's just what kids do.
Right.
You are taking it as, well, it was just a boy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go to his mother and tell him.
This is like when your mama caught you kissing some little boy.
Right.
He's just experimenting. That's
but
it.
Sometimes your parents didn't even tell the other kids' parents because they didn't want to.
Right.
They were friends with them and they didn't want to cause a rift. And it's what kids do.
Right.
So, that's what he said and that's what he meant. But then when he realized that it meant more to his daughter than that,
he came back.
He felt bad.
He said that's something that he would carry. He said that's a guilt that he will carry for the rest of his life. And I get it.
I'm not a fan of D.L. Hughley as much as
me neither. I'm not, honey. I'm
not a fan of his.
When I heard that Monique had cussed his ass out, I was like, good for his ass. Finally, somebody cussed his ass out. But I'm not a fan of. Let's keep it cute. I'm not a fan of D.L. Hughley's. I in no way agree with it, just about anything that he says because he's very homophobic.
We're gonna have to go in a minute, but I just want to get your opinion on this. I don't mean to change the subject in the middle of the subject. I'm sorry. But we talked about this on a different line.
What's that?
As far as Monique and them.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
So, a gospel singer, Anita Wilson, she made that hit, Jesus Will. She posted a statement on her Instagram. And the statement said, Happy Pride Month to all my family and friends and loved ones in the LGBTQ plus community. Thank you to each of you for bringing so much love, laughter, light, and beauty and fierce dopeness into my life and the world. I love you. And she finished it off with rainbow hearts and a kissy emoji. Well, you know the saints went in, honey.
Yeah.
The Christians went in on her. Why would you support this? Why would you?
Of course.
Why would you do this? You're not a real Christian. Jesus is not pleased. They started quoting Bible scriptures. So I went on the post and they got really mad at me because I said, well, Jesus walked the earth for 30 some odd years. Never once did Jesus say homosexuality was a problem. Because if it was, when he walked the earth for 30 some odd years, he would have made that one of his situations. Right. He never made that a situation. There's nowhere in the Bible do you see Jesus talking about homosexuality.
I don't even want to talk about the Bible because I don't even...
No, but I'm saying they resort to the Bible. So then they got really mad when I said on the post, I said, but I'm sure if this Bible told you to kill your firstborn, you'd do it because that's what Jesus said and God said you'd get into heaven. Oh, honey, they got mad. Why would I kill my firstborn? Because the Bible told you to.
Right.
Because that's always your go-to, that the Bible said. So if the Bible said kill your firstborn child, you would do that because the Bible said that was your way into heaven. Because that shows how stupid y'all are, that you just reading the book and you just taking the book for what it says. Because if you really read the book, you would know that man said homosexuality was an abomination, not God or Jesus. They never said that.
Let me just say this.
I don't understand what the problem is. She's spreading love and positivity, and she knows, no shade, she's done in this picture of her. She's done. Well, now you already know. A gay person got that makeup together. Right. A gay person got that hair together.
Joseph, that's not
a gay
even
person. No. What I'm saying is, a gay person pulled her clothes. So why wouldn't she show love to the LGBT community? Right. She said, "My family." Clearly, there's gay and lesbian people in her family. Is she supposed to disown them? Right. Is she supposed to not?
See, this is what I don't understand. And see, people, let me just say this, because I know I have people that go to church and that watch us and that are in our live stream. And this is what I understand about church people. And I don't even know why I'm saying church, because I am a church person. I go to church. But this is what I don't understand about you pseudo-Christians. The pseudo-Christians that walk around talking about, oh, the Lord is good and God is good. And if you give your life to Christ, then you're going to have abundance. You're going to have everlasting life. But then y'all also turn around and say, well, God said, if you do this, you're going to hell. God said, if you do this, you're going to be crippled. God said, if you do this, somebody told me, a relative of mine last week told me this and said to me, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, because they was mad at me. You know what I'm sick and tired of with you goddamn fucking church burgers? Is y'all always, y'all want to talk about how good God is, but in the same breath, y'all want to talk about how evil and how mean God is. And how vindictive God is, and how he's just...
this evil entity, that's gonna just do whatever to you because you don't listen to him.
Listen,
but the Bible don't say that.
But listen to me. I want y'all to hear me. And I want y'all to hear me good in this chat. And I want y'all to hear me when I say this. Stop being arrogant when it comes to God, because as much as you may think that you may know about God, you don't know.
God is more than the Bible.
And no, God ain't no fucking Bible.
No, but I'm saying if you
ain't. He ain't. And you know, I'm so sick and tired of people standing behind that and using that as a weapon.
What I'm saying is, if you want to believe that God is the Bible, you also have to understand that God is more than that Bible.
If I had to choose between God and the Word, fuck the Word. Fuck the Word. If I had to choose between God and the Word, fuck the Word. I choose God over the Word any goddamn day.
Because
somebody, you know, and you know what, this person also told me, I've been in church all my life and I know Christ and I know this. I said, let me tell you something. I've been in church all my life. And the one thing that I've never done, and I come from the church of holiness. Joseph come from Holiness Church. The one thing that I've never done is I've never allowed a congregation or denomination to spin the narrative for me or to make a determination on my personal relationship with Christ. You can call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. You can call me evil. You can say I'm going to hell. You can say I'm gay. I'm going to hell. You can say I'm being punished. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But the one thing that you don't know is my relationship with God. You don't know how I talk to God. I talk to God every goddamn day. Every goddamn day I say, hey, what's going on, Lord? When I feel like talking to him, I talk to him. That's the relationship that people need to be focusing on having with God instead of always shunning people and always telling people they're going to hell because the God y'all serve, I don't serve. And that's what I told the person. The God you serve, I don't serve. I don't serve no God that seeks out vengeance. I don't serve no God that is a vindictive God. I don't serve a God that's going to punish me. I serve a God that's going to give me gifts, that's going to give me everlasting life, that's going to love me unconditionally no matter what I am. Do y'all know what unconditional love is? Because a lot of you and none of you church burgers can say y'all got unconditional love. Because if you had motherfucking unconditional love, then you wouldn't be going around spewing all this hate that you spew around. So y'all sit there and y'all stand y'all word. You stand on the word and you stand the word. Y'all always say, I'm stand on the word, I'm stand the word. Y'all don't know how to stand on the word and stand on the word because y'all interpreted it the wrong way. First of all, and I'm getting ready to end this because we got to go. And this is a question. I want somebody to email me about this. I want you to email me about this. I want one person out there that calls themselves a Christian to give me a word or a scripture in the Bible where Jesus or God, Jesus or God said that being who you are and living comfortable and living in your skin is a sin. I want y'all to find that scripture. Find me a scripture where it says being gay is a sin.
Follow that up with all the scriptures about adultery.
Yes. I want y'all to tell me.
Because there's about 300 of those in there where he said adultery was bad, adultery this, adultery that. And also find the scripture, I forgot, when the soldier came to Jesus and asked him to heal his boyfriend, heal his lover, and Jesus went over and healed his lover. Find that scripture.
But do you know what? And we're going to end this right now.
Because Jesus thought something was wrong with being gay. He wouldn't have healed
all you church burgers, all you people out there, you church people out there talking about God is not pleasing, all this bullshit. This is what I want y'all to do. This is what y'all fucking
And I'm not going to, what we shouldn't do is lump everybody as a Christian.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about church burgers. I'm talking about these holiness people that be in church all dressed up and say, oh, God is good. And they always shunning people and they always talking down to people and they always saying how God is going to punish people. Those are the people I'm talking about. Those are church burgers. People that interpret the word
the way they want it
in a fucked up way. This is what I want y'all to do. I want you to go and I want you to read the word. This is what I want you. I encourage you church burgers, you Christians, you pseudo Christians, to read the word and find all and read all the scriptures. Make sure you read every single detail of it and find out where you fall short.
But I'm